Opening hook scene. If someone told you that a janitor's kindness could change the heart of a billionaire, would you believe it? Stay till the end, because this story will remind you that true worth is never measured by money, but by heart. And if this story touches you even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be shared with the world. The night was cold and quiet, the echo of a mop gliding over marble floors filling the empty corridors of Brightstone Industries. Daniel, a middle-aged janitor with tired eyes and worn shoes, was finishing his night shift. He worked silently, carefully polishing the glass walls that reflected the grandeur he could never afford. To others, he was invisible, the man who came after hours, who didn't belong to their world of suits and luxury cars. Daniel wasn't always a janitor. Once, he was an engineer. But after his wife's passing and a series of layoffs, he lost everything: his job, his home, and nearly his will to keep going. The only thing that kept him grounded was his teenage daughter, Lily. Her smile reminded him that even broken people could still bring light to others. Every night, he told Lily, "Kindness is never wasted, sweetheart. Even if the world doesn't see it now, it will someday." That someday came sooner than he ever imagined. One night, while cleaning the executive floor, Daniel heard a faint sob from the CEO's private office. He paused, confused. No one should have been there. Carefully, he pushed open the door and found a little girl curled up under the massive oak desk, trembling and crying. Her tiny hands were shaking as she clutched a stuffed bear. "Hey, it's okay," Daniel whispered, kneeling down so he wouldn't frighten her. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" The girl looked up, her eyes wide with fear. I can't breathe, my chest hurts." Without a second thought, Daniel scooped her up and rushed toward the emergency stairs. The elevators were locked at night, but he didn't waste a second. His heart pounded as he raced down 14 flights, shouting for help as he burst into the lobby. The security guards froze for a moment before calling an ambulance. Within minutes, paramedics arrived and stabilized the little girl. Daniel stayed there, drenched in sweat, holding her hand until the doctors took her away. He didn't even know who she was. The next morning, Daniel was called into the CEO's office. Standing behind the massive desk was Victoria Hale, the billionaire CEO of Brightstone Industries. Her expression was cold, sharp as ice. "You entered my private office last night without authorization," she said, her tone clipped. "And you carried my daughter out of the building. That's a serious breach of protocol." Daniel tried to explain, voice trembling. "Ma'am, she was having an attack, she couldn't breathe. I only wanted to help." But she cut him off. "You could have called security. Instead, you broke company rules. Effective immediately, you're terminated." Her words hit him like a blow. Security escorted him out before he could even say goodbye to his coworkers. That night, Daniel sat in the small apartment he shared with Lily, trying to stay strong. His daughter placed her hand on his and whispered, "Dad, you did the right thing. Maybe she doesn't see it now, but she will." Days passed. Daniel started searching for new work, but rejection after rejection followed. He was too old, too tired, and too broken in the eyes of employers. Still, he kept going, because giving up wasn't an option when your child was watching. A week later, Brightstone Tower buzzed with an energy unlike before. Victoria Hale's daughter, Amelia, had just woken from her hospital bed. The doctors said it was a close call. Her asthma attack could have been fatal had she not been taken to the hospital in time. When Victoria entered her daughter's room, she expected smiles and relief. But the first thing Amelia asked was, "Where's the man who saved me?" Victoria froze. "What man?" "The janitor," Amelia said softly. "He picked me up when I couldn't breathe. He told me I'd be okay." "I heard you shouting that he was fired. Did you fire him?" Victoria blinked. She hadn't told her daughter about that. "Amelia, I didn't know you." Amelia's voice cracked. "He saved my life, Mommy. And you fired him." For the first time in years, Victoria felt shame flood her chest. She had built empires, made millions, but in that moment, she realized she'd become blind to humanity itself. That evening, her car pulled up outside a run-down apartment building. She hesitated before knocking. When the door opened, Daniel appeared, surprised and wary. "Miss Hale," he said quietly. Victoria looked different now. Her eyes weren't cold, they were heavy with guilt. Behind her, Amelia peeked out, holding a small bouquet of flowers. "I came to say thank you," Victoria said softly. "My daughter told me everything. You saved her life. I fired you for doing the right thing." Daniel shook his head. "Ma'am, I don't need thanks. I just did what anyone would have done. Not everyone would have risked their job," she replied. "And that's why I came here, to make it right." She offered him an envelope, but Daniel didn't take it. "I don't want your money." Amelia stepped forward and hugged him tightly. "I want you to come back," she whispered. "You're my hero." Tears filled Daniel's eyes. He looked at Victoria, who nodded. "I'd like you to return, not as a janitor. We could use a man like you to lead our new facilities team. You have integrity, Daniel. Something this company needs." He hesitated, then finally smiled faintly. "If you're sure." Victoria smiled back for the first time in years. "I'm certain." Months later, Brightstone Industries felt different. The CEO greeted employees by name. Daniel was promoted again, now training new hires in both safety and compassion. Amelia often visited his office after school, her laughter filling the halls that once echoed with silence. One day, during a charity event, Victoria shared Daniel's story with her board. "He reminded me that titles don't define people, hearts do," she said. "And sometimes, the janitor we overlook might be the angel who saves what we love most."